Strategic Affairs expert Brahma Chellaney is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Chellaney, what do you think about this particular decision by the Prime Minister? Solid message that will be sent out to China, but also a huge morale booster for our forces there.
That's for sure. But it also underlines Modi's penchant for springing surprises.
Absolutely.
He loves to spring surprises on the nation, and even the recent decision to ban 59 Chinese mobile apps took the country unawares. He loves to surprise the nation, and I think the decision to visit Ladakh is definitely a very good decision. As you all know, the Chinese aggression has been raging for more than 2 months now. In early May, India discovered the Chinese intrusions. So it's been more than 2 months since the Indians discovered the Chinese encroachments, and no political leader has visited Ladakh. For example, the defense minister did not choose to go to Ladakh. He chose to spend 3 days in Moscow, but he did not visit Ladakh. So given this background, and given the fact that the government had tried to underplay the Chinese aggression in May, and even for much of June, until the 20 Indian soldiers were killed. Given that background, I think Modi has taken a very good step by arriving in Leh, and this sends a clear message to China that even though Modi has not called China out on its aggression, on its encroachments, his visit to Ladakh clearly highlights both India's determination to resist and repulse China's aggression, and two, that India as a united nation is rallying behind its forces.
Do you think, Mr. Chellaney, that this decision perhaps by the Prime Minister was taken simply for the messaging and for the symbolism? This is something I highlighted earlier, because all the updates of what was happening in Leh Ladakh would have been given to the Prime Minister. No doubt he was receiving real-time updates while in Delhi. Do you think he's decided to go to Leh simply to send out a message?
Definitely, this is largely symbolism. I agree with that, because the Prime Minister's trip is not going to make any difference other than to boost the morale of the forces, and I hope he also visits some of the forces on the front lines, besides visiting the wounded Indian soldiers in the hospitals in Ladakh, including the main hospital in Leh, where dozens of Indian soldiers who have been wounded in clashes, and I'm not referring just to the June 15 clashes.
Okay.
That hospital in Leh also houses Indian soldiers who were wounded seriously in the clashes that took place in the first 10 days of May. We've had a series of clashes, and even though the government of India is trying to downplay the clashes that happened in May, the fact is that scores of Indian soldiers were seriously wounded. A number of them had to be airlifted to hospitals, including some to New Delhi. So when the Prime Minister visits the wounded soldiers, which I hope he will do,
we're being told he will, yes,
a morale booster for the Indian forces.
Okay. Mr. Chellaney, thank you for joining us here on India Today.